In today's episode of Free Mama Radio, I'm hitting the pool. Not literally, it's figuratively. I've got a whole analogy all about swimming and freelancing. Stick with me. I promise you it's all going to come together in the end.
You're listening to Free Mama Radio, where we believe you can have both a successful business and show up as the mom you want to be. I'm your host, Lauren Golden, a mom who built a full-time income working part-time hours. Now, I help other moms like you learn how to work from home on your own terms, take control of your schedule, and make more money so you can live a totally awesome, guilt-free life. I am on a mission to make sure that no mother has to choose between family and financial stability. So if you've been wondering, can I really have it all? This podcast will give you the answers.
I'm super excited about today's episode because I have this analogy that I just keep coming back to. I don't know if it's because we're back in Houston and we've got the pool in the backyard and it's 100 degrees outside and super humid. But I keep coming back to this analogy that I want to share with you today about starting your freelancing business and a swimming pool. And it goes a little bit like this. So if you want to start freelancing, you want to start running your business, it's kind of like you want to be swimming, right? You want to be swimming. You want to enjoy the coolness of the water during the summer, and you're like having a really good time, and you're doing this thing. It's an action, right? Like freelancing is an action. You have to be doing it. But the problem is a lot of people try to learn how to swim by walking around the pool or dipping your foot into the water, or maybe even standing on the first step. But even if you're standing on the first step, which by the way, is how I like to hang out at the pool, and Audrey, you are not actually swimming. You're not actually freelancing. You're not actually running a business. You're kind of tiptoeing around that. And so it's one of the things I see over and over again. In fact, since I've been home, I've seen a couple posts. This is the question I get asked more than anything else is, how do I get started? And I did an episode where I talked about that, but I see people even months down the road. And unfortunately, even people who have gone through the Free Mama Movement 12-week program who are still walking around the perimeter of the pool, right? We're doing all the things that feel safe. We're downloading and installing Zoom on our computer. We are getting our Calendly link set up, but we're not sharing it with anybody, but we've got it ready to go, right? Maybe you're building your website. Maybe you are even starting a Facebook page, which I will do a whole episode about Facebook and social media and the do's and don'ts of what I think is the best use of time. But it's always fascinating to me how many people come into our community who talk about starting a Facebook page. And spoiler alert, if you're not in the 12-week program, it's actually not something I teach you to do. But I'm going to save that for another episode. But some of you, you're working on your social media, you're optimizing your social media page, which is great, by the way. I have an episode of Free Mama TV all about how to optimize your social media profile, your personal profile. That's a must do. You should do that on any social media account you're active on. But the thing with all of these activities is, you're getting your LLC, you're setting up your bank account, you're maybe showing up to coaching calls even, you're hanging out in the Free Mama group asking questions. But all of these things, these are things we do to get ready to go swimming. And I think a lot of people end up burning out who have a desire to start a freelancing business, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's a product or service, it doesn't really matter what kind of business you're starting. Maybe it's coaching or whatever. A lot of people burn out running laps around the pool, and we're keeping ourselves busy and we're doing all of these different activities, but none of those activities are swimming. And you're listening to this right now, probably because you want to be a swimmer. You want to be a business owner. You want to be making money providing a service is the assumption I will make if you're listening to this, because that's what I teach and coach to is service providers. But you're walking around the pool. Maybe you're showing up in a Facebook group and you're like dipping your toe in, you're like stepping in, and that's great. But I always get a little bit triggered when people are like, I don't know how to start. I don't know, how do I get started? And the reason I think I get triggered is not because I expect these people to already know something they don't know, because none of us know what we don't know, and it can feel really intimidating to do something new, and I honor that. But I think the reason I get frustrated is because I actually spend the majority of my time and resources today in my business every single day trying to answer that question for people. We have created a 70 skills checklist. We'll get links to all of these in the show notes, by the way. So in case you guys are fans of Free Mama Radio, hopefully you guys have already subscribed wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. But we also put what's called show notes up on a website. You can go to freemamaradio.com. You can see very clearly the list of all the episodes, all the guests we've had. And we always put what's called show notes where you can click through to these things. So I'm going to hit you right now with the motherload of free resources. Obviously, Free Mama Radio and Free Mama TV are two great ones. Free Mama TV is over on YouTube. It is all how-to videos. How to create an email signature, how to optimize your social media page. I already told you that one. How to network in Facebook groups. What other job listing opportunities there are out there, and ones I'm a fan of and ones I'm not a fan of. What are the top freelancing gigs in 2020? These are all questions we answer. My team and I work really hard to put these resources out there for you. We've got a 70 skills checklist. It's totally free. You can get access to over 70 skills that entrepreneurs are constantly outsourcing. They're hiring people. They literally are desperate for help doing these tasks because they don't want to do them anymore, because it means they're not working inside their business, swimming inside the swimming pool. You feel what I'm saying here? They don't want to walk around the perimeter of their business. They outsource those things. They need to be swimming and making money, and so do you. If you are someone who is like, okay, I kind of get it. I'm like in conversation with people, but I don't know what to do next. We have something called Prospect to Paid. That one's not free. It's $7, you guys, and it'll walk you through the process of talking to prospective clients all the way to signing a contract and working with them as an actual paying client so that you can be swimming in the deep end with the rest of us. To manage those discovery calls, we have a free questionnaire. We're going to give you links to all these things. It's how to lead the conversation on a discovery call so that it's not an interview. If you listen to an episode from a couple weeks ago, it was a 2-part series we did that was all about going from that 9 to 5, both literally and your mindset, going from 9 to 5 to being the boss of your own business. These are all free resources we've created for you. So we're literally telling you what to say on a discovery call. And I think what gets me riled up, and you can't see me, but I'm actually waving my arms around, standing in my office, because I do better on these podcast episodes. I've realized if I'm walking around and standing and getting excited with you and for you, than if I'm just sitting down trying to talk to myself inside these 4 walls. I'm waving my hands because I feel passionate that you have everything you need already to start swimming. You just have to decide that you're ready to swim, that you are done walking around the pool. And sometimes the best way to do that is just to jump in. Now, I don't recommend this with like throwing a toddler in the pool or anything like that. But at some point, it's like you've got everything you need. There are rafts and buoys and lifeguards all around you. You have mentors, you have accountability partners, you have friends inside of our Facebook group who are here for you and want to support you. And we are not going to let you drown. We're not. If you use us, if you use these safety nets, you are not going to drown. And so the best way for you to learn how to swim, to make money in your business, to truly start freelancing is to jump in and just do it. You've got to quit walking around the perimeter watching and observing other people perfect their strokes in the pool and tell yourself these stories about like, well, you know, they're already a really good swimmer. Like, I can't do this. No, get in the pool with us. There's enough room for everybody. Okay. So I get triggered with like, I'm not ready to swim. Where do I start? You start by getting in the pool. And so you have to take these resources and then do something. It comes, being a swimmer, being a freelancer comes in the action. It's not in the preparation of like, you know, I watched somebody else swim, or, you know, I went and got a new really cool raft. Like, no, that's not what makes you a freelancer. What makes you a freelancer is being in the pool and actually swimming. So I want to give you guys some tangibles. I've obviously gone through some of our free resources. We have others as well. We have the Daily 5, which will talk to you more about time management and how to structure your day. We also have the Free Mama Squad opening up in just a week or so. So make sure you're paying attention. This is an insanely low ticket offer to get accountability coaching and a support group that's going to keep you in the pool, setting goals about how far you can swim and how many, I don't know, laps you can do. I don't know. I'm not a swimmer, but Daphne was on swim team for 2 years and Henry for 1. So we're going with this analogy still. We're going to be your coaches. We're going to be there for you, cheering you on every step of the way in a super productive framework, all centered around getting rid of your limiting beliefs about why you can't swim and making sure that you're setting good, challenging, smart goals for yourself, and then actually following through on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis with the actions you need to be taking. Because again, remember, if you want to be a freelancer, if you want to run your own business, you got to be in the pool. You can't do it from walking around the side of the pool. And so we've got the free resources, we've got the squad getting ready to open up again. But the last thing I'll say to you is that, to jump in the deep end, what does that look like? Well, it looks like saying you're a swimmer before you feel like you actually are one. You have to trust the process and trust the resources around you and trust that you are not going to be a good swimmer when you first start. You're going to be doggy paddling, but you're going to be doing it. You're going to be treading water. You're going to keep your head above the surface. And then we'll work on your strokes. Then you'll get better. Then you'll perfect, the services you want to provide and the niche of ideal clients that you want to work with. And then you're going to learn your specialty or your stroke that is going to take you all the way to 5-figure months or even 5-figure days is possible. I just saw a post before I started recording this that one of my former students from the Movement Maker Accelerator just made $4,000 today. She used to make $4,000 a month, which some of you would definitely jump in the deep end of my pool if I told you that you could make $4,000 a month freelancing part-time while being home with your kids. She just had her first $4,000 day. What is so cool about trusting the process and jumping in the pool before your strokes look perfect is that anything is possible. It's why I wave my arms in the air when I do these episodes, is because I want you to know and believe and aspire to this idea that when you choose to start swimming, when you start choosing to being a freelancer or being a business owner and you go all in the deep end, you are literally creating a limitless life. You can design your lifestyle to look like whatever you want it to, and there becomes no more ceiling on top of your earning potential. I'm so passionate about it. I love it so much. It has changed my life in more ways than I can even count. I have lost count of the number of students who have come back to me, and it's changed their lives too. I mean, it's such a blessing. And so please, 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 if you take one thing away from this today, it's that you've got to get in the pool before you're ready. You've got to call yourself a freelancer. You've got to pick a service to start with. You've got to take advantage of these free resources and be resourceful in filling in the dots. And if you need a roadmap, if you need someone to tell you what to do, then please consider investing in yourself so that you can learn to swim faster. We have tons of resources. We're going to go ahead and just go nuts in the show notes today. I'm going to put all of our free resources, all of our paid resources. I would love nothing more than to support you on your journey and get to work with you. But moreover, what I care about is that you choose to start swimming. Find someone or something that lights you up and makes you wave your arms around because you want it so badly for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. I believe in you. I will believe in you more than you need if it carries you over until you believe in yourself and your own ability to swim. I hope this analogy landed with you. If you liked today's episode of Free Mama Radio, please do me a favor and take a screenshot wherever you're listening and share it over on Instagram with me. If you also tell me what you do, tell me what your stroke is, tell me who your ideal client is, tell me what services you provide, something, we will also reshare it in our stories and give you a shout out. And that's great publicity for you and your business. It's so good to be home and back here with you guys. If you ever have an idea, something you want me to talk about for Free Mama Radio, go ahead and email us or send me a DM on Instagram. Let us know what you want to talk about, and I would be happy to do an episode answering all of your questions. Until next time, happy swimming.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Free Mama Radio. Don't forget to check out Free Mama TV right here on YouTube for hundreds of how-to videos and interviews to help you start, grow, and scale a virtual business from home. If you want to join a community of tens of thousands of moms just like you, make sure you join the Free Mama Movement group over on Facebook. And lastly, if you want to learn more about how we can do this together, work to achieve your goals, and make you our next success story, check out my free training at thefreemamamovement.com. I'll see you next time.